Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Waterloo Council meeting of Monday, December 12th, resuming now at 6:30 p.m. Could I have a disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof from Council? Seeing none. At this time, at the beginning of this Council meeting, we pause to think about the needs of our community. May we show wisdom and compassion in all our decisions. First up tonight is the staff report on the 2016 Waterloo Award recipients, and our first order of business is actually to make it official. So I'll look to former Waterloo Award winners to my right, moved by Councillor Veith, seconded by Councillor Whaley. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. The next agenda item is a presentation of the Waterloo Award to our outstanding contributors to our community. I'm pleased to welcome this evening's honorees, Georgia Cunningham and Robert Hennig. Thank you for joining us in Council Chambers this evening, along with your families, friends, and nomination supporters. I look forward to presenting each of you with your Waterloo Award. The Waterloo Award is the City of Waterloo's most prestigious civic honor. Since 1997, this unique award has been presented to a select group of just 46 recipients. The Waterloo Award is presented each year to individuals who embody a spirit of creativity and collaboration, who demonstrate leadership and innovative thinking, people who find new and inventive ways to improve our community. Nominations for the Waterloo Award are solicited each year from the public and from city staff. On behalf of myself and Council, it will be my pleasure to present the Waterloo Award this evening to two exceptional individuals whose personal and collaborative efforts have enhanced the quality of life for our city and beyond. Their contributions have assisted in making Waterloo the strong, vibrant city it is today. I will meet our 2016 Waterloo Award recipients individually to present their awards, award pins, and certificates. And I think Councillor Freeman will kick us off.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Jaworski. Each year, the City of Waterloo celebrates citizens selected to receive the Waterloo Award by presenting them with a unique pin, individually designed and handcrafted by Waterloo artist Aggie Bainan, who is in attendance this evening. These distinctive Waterloo Award pins, made with semi-precious and precious metals, are given as a visible symbol of civic recognition. The pins can be worn proudly by the recipients for a lifetime. The names of the Waterloo Award recipients are also engraved on plaques that hang in these council chambers. I would like to invite Mayor Jaworski and our first award recipient, Georgia Cunningham, to stand in the council horseshoe now before her profile is read and her Waterloo Award is presented. Anyone wishing to take photographs of the award presentations can come forward after the citation has been read. According to Georgia Cunningham's nominator, Mary Dalton, Georgia's belief in and passion for paying it forward has added to the vibrancy, welcoming atmosphere, and the quality of life in our community. For the past 35 years, Georgia has led numerous volunteer initiatives to better our community. This began in the mid-1990s when she helped fundraise for her daughter's dance school. She discovered a passion for the arts and a special knack for mobilizing people in support of a worthy cause. Her love of arts and culture led to a position on the board of Theatre and Company, and she worked tirelessly to raise funds for this small professional theater. This experience led to a position on the board at the museum, where she supported the acquisition of special high-profile programs and exhibits and co-spearheaded the legendary Studio 54 fundraising disco. As her reputation for fundraising grew, Georgia was asked to participate in many projects, such as Jeans and Scrubs, to support our 3 local hospitals. She has also served as a board member for St. Mary's Hospital. In an effort to potentially save the lives of countless women, she passionately promoted the digital mammography campaign at St. Mary's Hospital. Her goal was to raise $1 million in 18 months. They raised it in 6. Georgia's current philanthropic focus is improving healthcare services in the region so our families will have the best care possible when they need it. This year, Georgia chaired the premier fundraising gala to benefit St. Mary's Regional Cardiac Center to bring a new heart rhythm program to the hospital to treat electrical heart issues, specifically arrhythmias. Over 1 million people in Waterloo region and beyond depend on the advanced care programs provided by the Cardiac Care Center. Georgia has demonstrated the ability to balance a successful business career with serving on numerous committees, boards, and fundraising initiatives. Professionally, Georgia's family business, SG Cunningham Limited, is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. She and her employees have pledged to raise funds and have surpassed several fundraising goals, contributing to the well-being of the community. Georgia's generosity and dedication has benefited many community organizations such as Hope Spring Cancer Support Center, KW Community Foundation, the Center in the Square, KW Art Gallery, the Sunshine Foundation, Women's Crisis Services of Waterloo Region, Family and Children's Services of Waterloo Region, Kids Ability, the Salvation Army, Ray of Hope, Chime Radio Tree of Hope, Syrian refugees, numerous children's sports teams, one-time situations assisting families in need, mentoring young business people, and more. Her generosity and enthusiasm is contagious and inspires others to follow in her footsteps and give back to this great community. It is an honor to present the Waterloo Award to Georgia Cunningham.
I can't do anything these days without glasses on. Wow, thank you so much for those kind remarks. What a year this has been for me. I'm so grateful and humbled to be one of this year's Waterloo Award recipients and to join past recipients who I have long admired and respected. A very special thank you to Mayor Jaworski, Waterloo City Council, and the Waterloo Award Committee for this incredible honor. This year marked the 40th anniversary of our family business, SG Cunningham. I thought the year started off exciting in January when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came to visit the new offices we built for Google. But I have to say, this award evening, and especially after what I just heard, truly tops that for me. Because tonight I get to publicly thank the City of Waterloo and the business community for embracing me, my family, and our business in such a positive way for the past 40 years that we have been able to give back our time and treasure to so many worthy causes close to our hearts. To all of our amazing clients, your trust in us to complete your projects combined with our team spirit to make a difference has allowed everyone at SG Cunningham to get involved in our community and help so many organizations like St. Mary's Hospital, the Food Bank, the museum, the Chamber of Commerce, Center in the Square. I could go on and on about all of the organizations that we truly want to help and are trying to help, all of which help enhance the quality of life and business in our community in so many ways, and for so many. As I reflected today about what I would say tonight, I could not help but think how fortunate we are to live and work in this vibrant city of Waterloo. How fortunate we are to have amazing health care available at St. Mary's and Grand River hospitals. How fortunate we are to have outstanding education at the University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier, Conestoga College. Again, something I could go on and on about really and truly how fortunate we all are. We really do have so much to be grateful for. So on that note, May we continue to be an inspired, innovative business community with a heart to give back. I challenge all of my business friends to join me, and as this award represents, look outside the box and find new ways to keep improving our community. As the saying goes, it takes each of us to make a difference for all of us. Thank you to those who nominated me and supported my nomination. And of course, a really big thank you to my extended family and friends for always supporting me and being here this evening. I'm so proud, I really am, to be a citizen of Waterloo. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you and congratulations, Mrs. Cunningham. That's Ms. I'm going to go with Ms. Cunningham instead. I now invite Mr. Robert Hennig to join Mayor Jaworski in the Council Horseshoe. Robert Hennig was determined to bring a first-class female hockey association to the city of Waterloo because originally Waterloo played in the Kitchener Girls Hockey Organization. Robert coordinated a dedicated group of parents who wanted a place for their daughters to play and represent the city of Waterloo in girls hockey. He made our community a place for girls to play hockey with pride and at the highest level, creating the Waterloo Girls Minor Hockey Association, WGMHA. The Waterloo Ravens set themselves up in Rim Park just as the facility was opening. Robert's vision was that girls hockey was about more than just the game. His mantra was, and still is, for the kids, for the game, for the fun of it. Through Robert's leadership, WGMHA has grown to offer development programs, house league teams, rep teams that travel across Canada and the US, and 3 annual tournaments: the Fall Challenge Cup, US-Canada Cup, and the Waterloo Cup. In collaboration with the City of Waterloo, City of Kitchener, and Kitchener Minor Hockey Association, Robert has also brought the highest level of women's hockey in Ontario to our community with the creation of the KW Rangers, who are members of the Provincial Women's Hockey League. This team has produced many talented female hockey players who have received scholarships in the US, as well as spots on Canadian university teams. Enabling all Waterloo families to access the hockey programs was one of Robert's dreams. In order to achieve this goal, he recognized the importance of partnerships, a critical component in the success of WGMHA. 2 important partnerships were formed with the City of Waterloo as an affiliated group and with the University of Waterloo. In 2012, Robert approached the University of Waterloo Athletics Department about developing a training program and coaching clinic for younger players in both hockey leagues. 4 years later, this program thrives and has resulted in employment opportunities for the men's and women's Warrior hockey teams, mentorship for the Ravens teams, and enhanced skills for coaches. He also initiated a head injury program, which was a leading edge initiative before concussion protocols were the norm. WGMHA has benefited the community financially through the revenue generated by 2 prestigious annual hockey tournaments, the Waterloo Ravens Fall Challenge Cup and the US-Canada Cup. These tournaments attract thousands of people from across Canada and the US to the City of Waterloo. Participants stay in our hotels, shop, and eat at local establishments. These tournaments are so popular that they are booked before the season starts. Robert's actions taught others to always lend a helping hand, and his initiatives have kept young female players in our own city, inspiring them to contribute to future generations by being mentors, coaches, referees, and even entrepreneurs. Following Robert's example of strong community building, all Ravens teams are encouraged to be contributors to the community through volunteering and supporting local initiatives such as the Tree of Angels, Hockey Helps the Homeless, and Family and Children's Services. In the words of nominator Sandra Hanmer, Robert has assisted in the development of players, motivated volunteers, stimulated and encouraged ideas, and set the finest example of leadership for now and the future. It is an honor to present the Waterloo Award to Robert Hennig.
Well, I just have a few words of, mainly around thank yous. So I'll address Mr. Mayor, councilors, and the nomination committee. I am truly honored to have been one of two recipients for the 2016 Waterloo Award. And I'm also very honored to be on the long list of recipients of the past and also the future to be. I'd also like to extend my thank yous to those who supported the nomination, and they are Sandra Hanmer, who is now the president of the Waterloo Girls Minor Hockey Association, or you might know them as the Waterloo Ravens, and that Sandra is going to lead the charge and take over, but I'll still be involved in providing those ideas and hopefully some execution to continue on with our charter. And also to Sharon Abel. Sharon has been my sidekick for 15 years on every event and every tournament that we do, and she still continues to do so. So I'm really happy to have known Sharon and Mark to be a part of this organization. Also to Gord Buttinger, who is the second longest standing executive on our board. Gord served 12 years, and I do appreciate his support and contribution. And also Kristen Dijon. Kristen wrote one, I got a hold of the letter, and it was just a phenomenal letter to read, and really brought me back to what it's all about and where it all started. So I do thank her for playing through the organization and also supporting the nomination. I'd also like to thank my wife Vicki, who works tirelessly behind the scenes and has been involved since day one. So thank you, Vicki, for the support, and also to my family, Amanda, Rebecca, and Emily, for playing through the system. They're out of it now, but just being there and supporting my efforts through those years was very important. And last, but the most significant, is to all the volunteers who have touched this organization from day one, whether it was in a capacity of a board of directors position, or whether it was helping out at a tournament, or helping out on a team. I just want to say one last time, or no, I won't say it a last time. I'm going to continue to say it as often as I can. Thank you. Because we could not have developed such a strong organization in such a short period of time for the future. You see, volunteers are, well, they're the backbone. They're the foundation, and they're also the future of any community and its programs and events. Without those volunteers, these programs and these events that are put on within our communities will not exist or will not be what we expect them or want them to be. So I'll leave you with this. If you see a volunteer working tirelessly behind the scenes, just go up to him, tap him on the shoulder, take him aside and say thank you. Thank you for volunteering your time. If you want to volunteer, just step forward and just ask, because I'm sure that organization, that association, or whatever it is that you want to get involved with will open their arms very wide and welcome you to be a part of their association or program, but also allow you to start your journey as a volunteer, which has been exciting for me for the last 15 years and will be even more exciting for the next 15. So thank you. I will cherish this award for the rest of my life with my family, and will continue to serve as a volunteer within this community. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who joined us at Council this evening for the Waterloo Award 2016 presentations. On behalf of myself and Council, I again congratulate our two Waterloo Award recipients. I invite our honored guests to exit council chambers now, or stay for the next 2.5 or 3 hours, whichever you choose, along with anyone in council who came this evening for the Waterloo Award presentations. You're welcome to visit downstairs in the atrium, pick up a program as well as a bookmark. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Congratulations, Robert. Congratulations, Georgia. And a special shout out to the Honorable Walter McLean, who is also a Waterloo Award recipient, who will be downstairs with you. Okay, thank you. Well, after hearing all that about the Ravens and the excitement of their tournament selling out and all the excitement with a winter sport like that, if only there was a summer alternative, a multi-sport alternative that would help highlight our community. Next up on the agenda is the Canada 2021 Summer Games Bid Phase 2, with a report prepared by Jillian and a bunch of, and Cassandra, and a number of other delegates here to speak on that. Welcome, Jillian.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here tonight to present my staff report on Phase 2 of the 2021 Canada Summer Games bid. This, as you know, is a joint bid between the cities of Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge, and is contingent on the approval of all 3 municipal councils in order to move forward. Of note, Kitchener City Council just unanimously passed their report to move forward with this bid earlier today. This bid truly is a collaborative initiative with numerous supporters and parties coming to this organizations, businesses, and the Waterloo Regional Tourism and Regional Organization number 4 and the volunteer bid committee members that are all here tonight. The bid committee is going to present an overview of the games in Phase 2. Then I will review my highlights of the report, and then the delegations from the Waterloo Organization and the Regional Organization number 4. It's very difficult to say all that together. We'll say a few words, and then at this time, I would like to introduce Tim Jackson, Mandy Bugeaud, Janice Moore, and Sherry Dorian of the bid committee to make their presentation. City. This is yours. We need to flip over to there. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mayor Jarowski, council members, and invited guests. The bid committee assembled here tonight would like to thank you for the opportunity to stand before you today and present further information on our bid for the 2021 Canada Summer Games and request for approval of the resolution. While I personally didn't get the opportunity to compete at the Canada Games, I know how important the games are for young athletes. The experience that these athletes gain at events like this are irreplaceable. For some athletes, this is the pinnacle of their career, and for other athletes like Lennox Lewis and Andre DeGrasse, it is a launching pad for an incredible athletic career. The Canada Games provides lifelong memories and competition experience that will not only create better athletes, but will also create better citizens in the future. Sport is something that can bring our community together, and we have the opportunity to showcase Waterloo Region through the 2021 Canada Games. I'm very proud to be a part of this bid committee, and at this time I would like to allow my committee colleagues the opportunity to provide more information in respect to our bid.
Thank you. Thanks, Mandy. So just to recap, it was exactly a year ago that we were, myself, on behalf of the Regional Sport Tourism Office, and our collective representatives from municipalities were standing in front of this council, providing information to you on the Canada Games bid. So we had traveled to Toronto for a meeting. 27 other cities were in the room at the time to learn a little bit more information about proceeding with a bid. So since that time, we came back to you in the spring. We sought support to move forward on a letter of endorsement. We finished a technical bid package that was required for us to do so, to start to identify some of the pieces that we would have for the games. And then in late August, a technical review committee actually came here into the region and took a look at what we had to offer and gave us our assessment. I'm happy to say that in September, we were announced as one of the 4 finalists to move forward to the final piece of the bid. So if you take a look at the timeline, we're standing in front of you today, seeking your partnership in the resolution in order for us to move forward and complete the other elements, which are completing the final bid submission at the end of January, having the opportunity to host a bid evaluation committee for a site visit here on the 28th of February, and then, excitingly, the announcement of the winning bid community on March the 30th or 31st. So since that time that we've been working over the year, our committee has grown, and we've grown from being partners of the RSTO and the municipalities to a volunteer bid committee. And I couldn't ask for a better segue for us to have this evening after being just after your award recipients, because they embody the championship that's required to pull off an event of this magnitude. So it's a really good example, and we're very honored to have the members on our bid committee that we have, the business acumen, the sport hosting experience that they have, and the multi-sport games experience are second to none. So when we talk about community engagement, I'll be honest with you that we've been very cautioned when we've moved forward with this to date, because we are seeking your support. So we have done some engagement. We've spent roughly 200 meetings have taken place over the last year with various partners and partners that would be involved in the games delivery. In addition to that, all the staff for the 3 cities have consulted with the minor sports organizations, and we have received some support, and we also have some of those people here today. With our businesses and our institutions, and we've received letters of endorsement as well too to move forward. So the Canada Games, they're a photo finish, national anthem, top of the podium, world class kind of opportunity for Canadian youth. They're held every 2 years, alternating between winter and summer, and they are a once-in-a-generation opportunity to bid on the games. What I need to reinforce to you today is they are the biggest national sport opportunity that fits in our market, that allows us to showcase our cities. We know historically that the games have been awarded to cities of our size and with the partnerships that we have to produce. And so we feel like we're a very positive contender for this. The numbers of the game, very quickly, 19 different sports are featured, including para and Special Olympic inclusion. There's going to be 13,000 people involved at games time delivery, whether they're active competitors, as you see 4,500 competitors, including coaches and managers, as well as the spectators that come in. The other thing to note as well, too, is that there is representation from all 13 provinces and territories in these games. At this moment in time, we've identified 45 different sport and non-sport venues, and 30 of those are actually sport identified. So why should we host the games? I'm just going to go very quickly over a few key highlights. So when we talk about our investment in youth, you heard Mandy speak about this being an investment in our youth and potentially a stepping stone for them to move on in their athletic career. It's not just their athletic career, though. It could be their career in a boardroom as a CEO. It could be their career as a community leader or other investment that we make in our youth as well too is the promotion of sport and physical activity is part of the core of the Canada Games movement. It allows for school programming to take place to help emphasize and increase the level of physical literacy, but also addresses childhood obesity issues that we see, unfortunately, within our community. When we talk about investment in legacy, by working together in this partnership on the bid, the 3 cities demonstrate the collective ability to efficiently leverage the opportunities and shared benefit through working together via a regional sport tourism model through the RSTO. We also recognize and we invest, we've identified investing in the sport facility infrastructure that the cities currently have within our inventory, and that we would look to enhance the capabilities of those facilities to not only meet national standards now, but to be able to do so in the future in 2021. When we talk about our investment in community, I can't speak any further than the two candidates that you selected for your awards, but we know that we're one of the fastest growing areas, and Waterloo Region is a dynamic urban center, but we still maintain that small town feel within the three communities. We plan on working closely with our world-renowned leaders in the tech sector to take these games to new heights and to really showcase what makes this community special. Investing in our future through our technology sector, our smart transit system, our innovative people, and our learning institutions, we are at the forefront of these trends which will define Canada's future, and I can't think of a better way and a better platform to use in the 2021 Canada Games. So I'd like to introduce Janice Moore to talk a little bit more about our investment.
Sorry, a little technologically challenged. As one of the accountants in the group, of course, it falls to my shoulder to speak to you about the thing near and dear to my heart, the numbers. So if we go forward and win this bid, it will bring into our region and all of the cities a capital investment from the other two levels of government of $6 million. And the bid that we have prepared is based on current venues that you all have, and that will just enhance the infrastructure that is already existing. The other two levels of government also contribute for operating into the games. Both of them each will give $7.35 million worth of funding. The most important piece that I find in the games is that in nearly 50 years of its history, it's never lost money. There's not been a deficit. As you can see, all the way back to 2001 in London, Ontario, when it was back in Ontario, the surplus has been in a positive for every single city that has hosted the events. And the economic impact, all the way back from 2003, every single city and the surrounding areas have had a positive economic impact, and for the last 3 games, that number has been in excess of $100 million.
Sherry talked about the legacy that these games will leave for our community, but one of the things that the Canada Games Committee looks at is a legacy for the games themselves. And I can imagine no community better positioned to leave a long-term legacy for these games than ours. Imagine taking our technology sector and putting it in front of these games and having them apply it. Imagine things like a sports-related hackathon. Imagine local Waterloo companies like Exonify taking their gamification of training and turning that into training the thousands of volunteers that will be involved with these games. These games will leave Waterloo Region much more technologically advanced than any other region in the country could provide to them. And so I think you're sitting today looking at what is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to unlock the potential of this community, and I hope you will vote for it later tonight when you're given that opportunity to make it happen. Thanks very much on behalf of the committee.
Great, and thank you very much, Waterloo Award 2009 recipient Tim Jackson.
What did I say? Am I going to have the delegates speak next? I can't remember what I said, or am I going to do my speak? Looking at Sam. What does it say on the agenda? You want me to speak first? I don't know. I can speak. I'll speak first, then you guys, and then we'll do questions. Sounds like a plan. Okay. So I'm just going to build upon what the bid committee has already said, and I'm going to highlight the key pieces for the City of Waterloo's consideration. So we're here tonight to seek approval to proceed with Phase 2, which is contingent on the approval from the councils from the cities of Kitchener and Cambridge, which is going to take place earlier today, like I had previously mentioned, and then on December 13th for the city of Cambridge. We're also seeking approval for the release and the commitment that if my my screen, I just realized, thank you, that we would advance $73,333 to the host society, which would be repaid with the game's operating budget, and all 3 municipalities would be advancing the same amount. We'd also be looking to contribute $1 million in capital, and the finance staff have identified funding source. And again, all 3 municipalities would be committing a minimum of $1 million in capital. We'd also be looking for approval to underwrite 1/3 of any financial deficit the games would incur, and accept all hosting standards as per the 2021 Canada Summer Games bid procedures and hosting standards document found in Appendix A of the staff report. As mentioned by the bid committee presentation, this is the largest sport event that the City of Waterloo and the other local community partners could ever host. This would not be available to us if we as a single host community went forward. It has huge economic impacts, and that results in 79,400 room nights, which results in approximately $100 million in economic impact into the local community. Additional benefits of hosting the game are the ability to leverage $6 million in federal and provincial funding for recreation facility upgrades and expansions that are not currently budgeted for and that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do, and we would therefore be looking for funding in the next 5 years in order to cover these costs that are required for our facility upgrades. Additional benefits include the increase in local volunteers and the experiences that they gain and the education that allows them to be further assistance to their local organizations and sports, like we see earlier tonight. The increase in excitement around sports in the area, which we see as benefits the enrollment in the local sport groups. The local sport groups benefit from improved sporting facilities, legacy equipment, and other benefits that come forward out of the games. And it strengthens the collaboration between the municipalities and the Regional Sport Tourism Office and sets new best practices to attract and secure additional sport tourism events. It is important to note that there are some considerations to take into effect, and this is that there's been no games have ever incurred a financial deficit in the history of the games, which is 50 years to date. As a part of the hosting requirement, the municipal hosts have to underwrite any financial deficit, and this would be a shared responsibility between all 3 municipalities. There's a potential exists for a maximum of $6 million in deficit if not one ticket or sponsorship is sold, and we know that this is not likely the case. This amount would then be shared amongst the 3 cities for a total maximum of $2 million per municipality. There are measures and controls put into place to mitigate this risk, one of which is the staff are recommending a seconded position from one of the 3 municipalities to the host society for the CFO position for the host society. Another would be the municipal representation on the board of directors of the host society, which then have to report to regularly. Additionally, both staff work plans and capital project timelines would need to be adjusted to make the games a priority in order to ensure a successful delivery of the games. And this would be identified in the next business cycle and reflected in the corporate business plan. Rentals and user groups may be affected during the time leading up to and including the time of the games. And we'd be looking at the potential of using township recreational facilities to help with the rental displacement. In summary, the Canada Summer Games poses a number of opportunities to this community. The $100 million in economic impact, the opportunity to enhance and upgrade our existing facility infrastructure, the ability to leverage the $1 million against the $6 million of federal and provincial funding, the increase in volunteer and sport development, and it has numerous alignments with our city's strategic plans, the priorities of which are the infrastructure renewal, so sport facility development renewal and expanded facility recreation facilities, strong community, which utilizes community volunteers, corporate excellence, which includes building relationships with key stakeholders and community collaboratives and joint initiatives with regional municipalities, and the economic development priority, which is positioning the City of Waterloo as a preferred location for sport tourism and promoting Waterloo to the world. So moving forward, our next steps, as outlined on the next slide, are going to City of Cambridge Council on December the 13th, going to Waterloo Regional Council on December 20th, and then submitting the Phase 2 bid on January 31st with a review committee visit occurring on February 28th, and then the announcement of the successful host on March 31st, 2017. At this point, I will introduce the delegates from the RTO4 and Waterloo Regional Tourism, and then we'll take questions after that.
Your Worship, Councillors, my name's David Peacock, and the reason Jill has so much trouble with that acronym, like we need one more acronym, RTO4, Regional Tourism Organization Number 4, it's the only tourism organization in Ontario that doesn't actually have a name, and that's very purposeful. In fact, when the government asked after 5 years why we hadn't given it a name, we said RTO4 was the worst name we could think of, so we kept it. And that's actually true, and it's very important because when regional tourism offices were set up, there was a mad rush to brand things like Algonquin Park as Explorer's Edge, and Hamilton as the heart of Ontario, and Durham as central counties. We believe that in this region, and we do cover all of Huron, Perth, Waterloo, and Wellington, that we have really important extant brands, 150, 200 years old in some cases, that resonate with people across this country, and certainly throughout this province. And Waterloo is one of those brands. Why would we supplant that with a name like Conestoga Wagon Country, or the Canada Company Route, or something equally cute? So RTO4, the Regional Tourism Office for Huron, Perth, Waterloo, and Wellington, our job was to look at investments in tourism in particular, and tourism infrastructure that would best leverage the resources that any local centre had. If we laid down a single strategy from here to Goderich, you can imagine that it wouldn't fit anybody particularly well. Stratford has its wonderful theatre cluster, Blythe as well. We've got the shores of Lake Huron on the Grand River, but what was the key to unlocking successful economic growth through tourism in Waterloo region? Now, I will tell you, 5 years ago, there was no such thing as an RSTO, another odd acronym, Regional Sport Tourism Office. And I'm going to talk about Robert, and I'm going to talk about Ms. Cunningham, because those will be the anvils that get brought up all night long to hammer things on. They represent exceptional. And exceptional in a definition means doing everything that everybody else does, and then doing more and doing it better. And I think Waterloo is well positioned to do exactly that in sport. Jill and I, 4 years ago, were in Calgary, and we talked about the same thing in front of a group of our peers from across the country, that this region could come together and do more, better, longer, harder, faster than anybody else. That comes from a research piece that we commissioned with HLT on meetings and convention space, and I think many of the people in this room have probably seen that consult. The results came back 5 years ago that Waterloo in particular had a tough problem in meetings conventions because it faced a glut of meetings and convention capacity, literally north, south, east, and west, all underwritten by taxpayers' money, all sold on a loss leader basis, and the question was, should we build a convention center? The HLT report, though, came back with a silver lining. It said, you know what, though? When we look at the resources in sport between Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, and Guelph, there are more facilities, more volunteers, back to Robert and Ms. Cunningham, more officials, more